Okay, so we are now on the first traveller. Okay, we are going to try to contact Apollo at Apollo Terminus. So just use my scanner to try and find Apollo Terminus. Turns out there's one right behind me, okay. In case you didn't know, you can call your ship to these things, by the way. It just uses up a navigation data. What are they called? Well, it doesn't really give them a name. Yeah. Warning, network compromised. Warning, manual override required. There are no signal matches for Artemis or Apollo. The terminal is a stream of warnings and errors. Perform manual override. The warning messages cease. Some new frequency shimmers into being. Who might this be then? Break, break, break. Data stream overridden. Hello, null. You are not alone. Seems to be a pattern. Tell me, what's the point of living if we know that life will finish? So we can ask who they are, suggest that death does not erase life, suggest we improve the lives of others, or say that we don't know. Death does not erase life. But it does. All those moments gone. Everything that came before, meaningless. I know you, traveller. I know where you have been. I know where you are going. What if I told you that Artemis could be saved? What if I told you that Artemis could live once more, after a fashion? What would you do then, I wonder? I suppose I would do it. Like a fool, you rush in, eager to do whatever you are commanded. You remind me of myself, you know. The blood of Artemis is data, the heart its glitch. I can help you retrieve them both. We require a mind arc, a receptacle for their soul. Can you do that for me? I am reactivating Artemis's frequency. Speak with them when you are ready. The stranger offers me blueprints for something called the mind arc, a device they claim will allow me to restore Artemis to life. I accept, not knowing who this stranger is or how they possess such knowledge of my adventures, but if there is a chance that I can help Artemis, I will take it. Okay, so the soul engine is going to require a living pearl, some cadmium, and some metal plating. I don't have the living pearl yet, so I'll have to go get that from underwater in a bit. And the same is true of the soul engine there that I also got. So that's... Okay, where's it all gone? I want to go on closest one. So the soul engine, it was the soul engine that required the metal plating, cadmium, and living pearl, and then the mind arc requires the soul engine, some iron loom, and some glass. I can do the glass with that silicate powder I've already got in my... I'll make me 5 glass. How much glass did I need? Just 3, that's alright then. Okay, let's talk to Artemis. Are you... Artemis repeats those 2 words endlessly, unable to see my face or hear my voice. I must craft the mind arc before I can help them further. Okay. So we need to get ourselves some living pearl. No, I don't believe I saw any water on this planet. plenty of planets. Hopefully one of them will have some water. Well, I'm sure the mission will direct me back here, so I don't really need to put a signal booster down. Right. See, it actually wants me to go to a red system to get the cadmium, but I've actually already got the cadmium. Maybe I should just do what it says. Assume that the game assume I don't have the cadmium and just... Oh, okay, let's go to the anomaly and talk to Nada and Polo about Null. And perhaps get some Quicksilver. Maybe. Traveller entity. Nada has watched your signal. Nada has seen the other entity. Other entity is old. Older than Nada. Older than our home. Nada feels them watching. Nada asks the other entity, are they first? Are they last? Missing entity chose not to answer. They have ignored us. Apollo entity ignores us too. Ignores the travellers. Such is their pattern. It is valid. Nada understands. So we got some nanites that time, but no Quicksilver by the looks of it. Oh yeah, we got Quicksilver, there we go. 150. Okay, let's talk to Polo, see if I've got anything to say. Nada says you have met missing friend. Missing friend did not like me. Ask about Null. They are not like me or like Nada. They have freedom, like all of you traveller friends. But they do not share the sights they see. They hoard them. They are jealous. Polo does not approve. Okay. Right, let's go get what we need for the Mind Arc and the Soul Engine. So we need to go to a red system. I swear we're in one. No, we're not. It does have a water planet though, so we can come back here in a second. First it wants us to go to this red planet to get the cadmium, even though I've already got it. Land on a planet with cadmium. Fine. Can't do that one because it's activated cadmium. Let me scan that one. What about you? Yep. Oh, and it's another exotic planet, so I'll drop a base there. For a future video where I'm going to do all of the exotic planets in a row. Somewhere vaguely nice to land. I'll do. Something like that. Doesn't matter if I get it slightly wrong. Right. Now harvest living parts. Okay. Water planet detected in local system. Oh, so there's a water planet somewhere here, is there? Oh, that's a shell stream. That was a shell stream, wasn't it? My word, two of the same in the same system. I've never seen that happen before. How odd. Come on. Where are you? For God's sake.
Scan detected. Warning. Threat detected. Hostile ships approaching.
Hello there, iron-bound relic. Unnerving sample. So this is one of the terrifying samples. Appalling relic, the haunted remains of some abyssal horror. It has lived at least 50 lifetimes and will live many more again. Will stalk the bearer across the galaxy and the next, unless it is sold before the curse can take effect. Now that's not just words, by the way. Several of the space encounters that give those can, like keeping that in your inventory, can mean that you'll be pulsing around and you'll just immediately drop out with no warning whatsoever and encounter one of the space encounters that gave you it. So I might get Ironbound Relic over and over again, or it might just go straight to the scary one, the weird biological sample thingy I've forgotten the name of. Looks like two jellyfish sort of merged together. They will stalk you. Right, this does not resemble a water planet. Very funny, it claimed that there was a water planet in this system. So far, I'm unconvinced. A low atmosphere moon is not going to have water on it, let's be honest. And it wouldn't make sense, would it? If it hasn't got much of an atmosphere, then any water would just escape. That's what an atmosphere is, essentially. So, definitely not here. I'm just going to land so that it registers me as having visited. Oh, I'm using up all my launch thruster material. Great. Right, now there's a moon on the other side of the planet there. So let's see if we can find it. I can no longer see the one I was just on, so it must be a somewhere somewhere. I swear, if that's the one I've just come from, I'm going to be very annoyed.
Hostile scan detected.
Oh, leave me alone, pirates. That is in fact the one I just came from.
Warning. Threat detected. Hostile ships approaching.
Oh, so it's like you're all suicidal.
Hostile ships defeated.
Shouldn't have done that. Should have put it in the freighter. Let's put it all in the freighter. Oh, you know what? I know that the one I came from has got water, so that's... Are you kidding me? That's actually where it was trying to send me. It said the local system... Oh, do you know what? I was obviously being very thick. Oh well. Shouldn't have done that. Oh, you moved? I really hate it when it does that. Right, that one, as a paradise planet, will probably have water on it, but I don't know if it's the one we're after. Crossbound. Energy. Lifeless is definitely not that one. Truth be told, I don't think there's actually a way of knowing until you've landed on the planet which one the water one is. I mean, how many of these have we actually visited? We only visited the one. The thing is, we don't really need to find like a full-blown water planet, we just need to find a planet that actually has some water, like in decent amounts. What are you scanning? I don't have anything on me. I got rid of it all. Warp cell. Really? It's going to cost you a warp cell to warp into the system. What is wrong with you? Right, you know what? Your stupidity means you need to look. Where are you? God, you're not even fast enough to keep up with me.
No free slots in ship inventory. Hostile ships deleted.
Alright, so if you've got a problem with me having warp cells on me, then I'll get them to the freighter as well. Can we get on with it now? Stupid pirates. An interestingly shaped island. If it weren't for the threatening sentinels, I might be tempted to build a base here. God, it's like a giant golf course. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to turn this into a racetrack. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so getting on with our mission, we need some living pearls, which by the looks of it is going to be extremely easy and close by. So all we need to do is find some armoured clams, make sure we're not too close to them, shoot them so they open, and then grab the pearl before they close. Alright, if you grab the pearl first they won't close at all, but if I go to one, I'll show you what happens if you get too close when you fire on them. Right, they just push you all the way back, and what happens if you don't collect it? Snap. Okay, so you need to be a sensible distance from them when you start firing, but not so far away that you can't get there in time. Yeah, there we go. Down here, by the way, is also where you'll get salt and potentially some chlorine as well. Like specifically from like rocks and stuff sometimes. Oh, hang on, this is very normal stuff down here for some reason. Here we go, cytophosphate and salt. Cytophosphate literally can't be gotten from anywhere other than mining stuff underwater. Like you can't buy it like you can buy salt and chlorine. There's lots of interesting stuff underwater, which we'll... Oh no, he's got two. We'll get more into in the Dreams of the Deep mission. But it's, if you've got some decent upgrades for your oxygen, then it's always worth checking out underwater. Okay, let's craft our soul engine, and I'm going to use that to... Oh, I sent my stuff to my freighter, didn't I? My freighter is not in the system, so let's... Right, it's the soul engine crafted. Why are you not allowing me access to those? They're right there. Where's my glass? Did I not? Oh, I didn't do my glass yet. Send that to the freighter. Go back to the exosuit. Okay, mind arc, so free wiring loom, my soul engine and my glass. Space for that. You don't belong there. Hollow terminus detected. Off planet, yeah. Yeah, I thought so. Let's just nip past our freighter and our impressive frigate fleet. There's aggressive sentinels everywhere I go. Holo terminus activated. Multiple signal sources available. Tuned to Artemis. Let's comfort Artemis first. I attempt to comfort Artemis, telling them everything will be alright. They turn to me with a wild look of panic, clearly not expecting my voice. Who is that? Who? Let's identify myself. I tell Artemis I am their friend, that I could not find them within the portal, but that I have found the way to restore them. I didn't think you would come back. You never gave up, did you? All these years. That's what Artemis means. I've been here for 20 years, waiting for you. You were going to find my star chart, weren't you? Claim that they're going to be safe soon. Who is that? Who's there? Artemis repeats their words again, our conversation all but forgotten. They stare at me, their eyes pained, their mind trapped in an endless loop. They appear to have spent 20 years in this pseudo-death, haunted by loneliness and fear. If the stranger's device works, perhaps I can help Artemis move on. Let's use the Mind Arc. I activate the Mind Arc. I do not know what I expect. Some show of light and fury, some catharsis where Artemis emerges in the flesh, restored to life before my eyes. But it is not to be. One moment I see their hologram, and the next there is nothing. The stranger who gave me these blueprints beckons me over, their signal still active. Hello there, Null. Travellers are a dream, an idea that we have some special place in the universe. Artemis had it, you had it, Apollo too, though they would conceal it. Even I had this dream long ago. We are countless, my friend, walking these worlds, yearning for friendship. No one wants to be alone, not truly. But the closer you get to others, the more you risk hurting yourself, hurting them. The deepest secret of the universe is not that of the glass, or of the Aerons, that's the Sentinels, or of your progenitors. It is the final act, the decision to abandon those who need you. It is the primal sin, the foundation of existence itself. Go to the stars, traveller. Your friends wait for you. They will help you bring peace to poor Artemis. Return when you are finished. We have much to discuss. Bring Artemis to Nada. A copy of Artemis has been stored in the Mind Arc. Fly into space and summon the anomaly. Oh no, Ariadne's gone. Weekend missions, explain that one. Do the weekend missions, people. Friend entity. Polo observed your signal approach, but it was anomalous. The signature was from the wrong time. Are you well? Not incomplete? Not fading? Nada's visor lights flares, burning with concern and distress. I tell Nada that I am well. My condition has not changed since I emerged from the portal. Nada relaxes, but a question still hangs in the air. I tell him about Artemis, about Null, and about the Mind Arc. The vessel grows brightly as I reveal it. It is Echo. I never thought to see a traveller soul. You are so beautiful. But friend entity, this Artemis Echo is in pain, disconnected. This arc is no rescue. Why? Artemis Echo will never have body again, will never explore again, old life gone. But we can help them. Nada has a machine. No, not machine. It is something living, a refuge. There is a choice. You may upload Artemis Echo to the machine, to sub-simulation where they may live on, or help Artemis Echo end suffering. Is there another way? Nada shakes their head strangely, trying to adopt my own mannerisms. The gesture is appreciated, if disconcerting. You must choose. Upload them to the machine, sub-simulation where they may live on, or help Artemis Echo end suffering. So we are essentially deciding whether the data of Artemis should be destroyed now and let them finally die, or upload them into the simulation. Let's ask about the simulation, shall we? I ask what life would be like inside the simulation. Nada pauses for a moment, staring at me strangely. Nada tells me Artemis would still feel joy at the things they experienced, but if they should learn of their fate, that they were alone, no longer real, unable to meet their friends, such knowledge may cause them great pain. I have decided. Go speak with Polo, Traveller. They may be able to help you calibrate the machines, no matter your decision. Whatever you do, I am proud of your compassion. You are Traveller friend. Nada told me what you need to do. Just know, friend, that we support you, no matter the choice. I will prepare the machine. It is Nada friend's private refuge. Please treat it with care. So, this decision then is going to be all about what you think is the morally right thing to do. Do you think it's better to end Artemis's suffering, or better to let them live on within a simulation? Now, personally, especially as if you let them live on, you will get more stuff later from them. I personally think that uploading them is the right choice. However, it's not going to affect your game massively if you don't. You'll just be losing out on some additional dialogue later. The machine is ancient and powerful, a relic of the world long since destroyed. The craft is extraordinary. It is clearly tended to often and with great love. I feel a whisper, Nada's faint hum over the speaker, as they commune with the machine. The words on the panel unscramble themselves. Nada entity authorization detected. Secondary simulation right enabled. This relic is a simulation of a solar system, a prayer offered by ancient Korvax to the Atlas, now reshaped at the heart of the anomaly. A single false solar system so dear to Nada, it will act as home for Artemis should I wish it. Now I'm choosing to upload Artemis. Who's this person in the way? I upload Artemis to the simulation, a spark of blue light blazing through the air before me. It fades after a moment, disappearing into the depths of the machine. Nada tells me that it is done. For my sake, they will permit transmissions to and from this simulation, at least while the anomaly passes through safe systems. They warn me that Artemis will need some time to grow adjusted to their new life. So for now, there is no way for me to communicate with Artemis while Artemis becomes accustomed to the new system that they are in. Artemis Echo will live on. The Traveller took them from corruption and restored them to a life of exploration, to see a solar system that none but Korvax have ever witnessed. You have done well, Traveller. Don't worry, friend, we will take good care of Artemis simulation. The souls of your allies are safe with us. we must go and let Apollo know what's happened with Artemis. Turn to space to make contact. Are you receiving? The hollow terminus is showing available again. Your signal was thought you were gone. It is a relief to hear Apollo again. It feels like we have not spoken in a long time. Explain. I tried to recount the experience to Apollo as best as I can. The gateway, the strange planet, the vast machine, the crimson orb. As I talk, I realise the memories themselves are unstable, that I cannot form them in my mind. It is just a dull, aching red. I tell Apollo that I think I saw the Atlas itself. You saw it? You met the Atlas? The Gek, the Korvax, they worship it as a god. I never thought it was real. Never thought... Are you alright? I can't imagine what you've gone through. So is it terrifying? Is it just a machine? Not a god. So just a machine. I tell Apollo of the things the Atlas said, how it spoke of travellers and sentinels as if we were protocols, not living things. The way it views us, the way it looked at me, I felt as if life and death were just fragile dreams, not real concepts at all. At least it didn't harm you. And I think there's something in what you've just said. Korvax pay homage to the Sentinels precisely because they believe them to be servants of this Atlas. We should investigate further. This machine will lead us to the Sentinel nest. We'll be rich before we know it. Again, all you care about is money, mate. I'm going to say that talk of money is absurd. I suggest talk of rewards is absurd at times like this. The Atlas felt hostile, inexplicable in its motives and purpose. Not to mention that it has happened, all that has happened since. I tell Apollo of Artemis's grave and my encounter with the mysterious traveller Null. I suggest there's more going on here than an opportunity to earn units. Artemis is dead? I don't... How? Who would... I know I made fun of them, but that was easy. They cared, they believed, and I... What's happened to them? Where have you buried Artemis? I want to say goodbye if I can. I'm going to tell him of my choice. There is no point in lying. I tell Apollo that Null gave me a way of saving Artemis, to restore them to a form of life. Apollo is initially excited at the prospect of going to meet Artemis, but I explain the nature of what I did. I tell them that Artemis' soul lives on only within a simulation, unable to go beyond. Ask them if this was right. It is a long time before Apollo speaks again. Will they be happy? I'm going to say that I hope so. You did the right thing. You tried. Whatever you might be feeling right now, know that you are a good friend. I have to go through the portal and join you. That much is clear. We just need to figure out the right glyphs, the right address for that world of yours. Find a monolith. Search for patterns in the data. These things are machines and we simply need to understand their code. Trader. Oh, needs help. Anomaly. I see the stone of the monolith. It's immovable, muted silver, and yet something lurks beneath. It is grey and yet not grey. A crimson calling out from somewhere below its cool surface. Forget it. Side note, if that motorcyclist comes past my house one more time, I'm going to kill them. Okay, now this time we're not getting a freebie, we are actually going to have to charge the portal up first. So, some of them are sodium and sodium nitrate, some of them are dihydrogen, deuterium, cobalt, ionized cobalt or salt. We go with the ionized, it takes less of it. Some of them are our copper, cadmium, emerald or indium. Some are carbon, condensed carbon or oxygen. Okay, so it's now fully fixed up, we can use it. Traveller capture loop enabled, anomaly event contained. The portal seems to beg me as I approach, demanding my attention. It requires me to activate it, it requires me to travel on. I'm unsure if I should listen, so we'll request this planet's address. That is this planet's address, which we can also find, by the way, by going into camera mode. It's on the bottom left hand side of the screen there. Okay, so I now need to go back to the Hollow Terminus and tell Apollo what the address here was, so that they can come through this portal. Now I can't use the portal myself yet because I would need glyphs to do so, and I don't own the glyphs yet. If I go into my menu, and catalogue and portable glyphs, you'll see I've only got the first one. Okay. Of course there's an incoming storm. Just before I'm about to get out and be out in the open on top of the tower. Thanks. Oh no, past it. Tune to Apollo. Have you found the glyphs for your world? I'm almost ready. My suit is upgraded, my stomach is full, and I've hired a Gek to look after my farm while I'm away. Let's ask about the farm. Yes, I have a farm. What of it? It's not much, mostly fruit I found on my travels, but I'm hoping to expand. Anyway, this is no concern of yours. We have a portal to attend to, do we not? As I look at Apollo, I think of all that I saw within the portal, of what happened to Artemis when they walked the same path. I think of the face of the Atlas, of the way Narda warned me not to return to those tunnels. I do not know if the portals are safe. There is absolutely no point in refusing giving the glyphs over, because Apollo will do whatever Apollo wants to do. I give Apollo the glyphs, asking them to take care, to remember what happened to Artemis. They assure me that they will, promising to see me soon. Before I go, they advise me to find out what I can from this so-called null. They warn me to be careful too. Null. 2 lost souls. One who cared too much and one who cared too little. Their lives have not become what was promised, have they? Every sentient being that has ever lived has felt that way at some point. I know I did, once upon a time. I was angry, confused at my own solitude. Imagine my surprise when you woke me. Oh, I know you didn't mean to. I know you were just playing around with portals. But whatever you did, I am here now, and I need your help. The Atlas. It is not what you think it is. Something is happening to the universe. Something I need your help to figure out. Why do you need my help? The Sentinels do not just keep the peace across the universe. Their motives run deeper than that, seeking out anomalies in the multiversal structure and eliminating them from existence. Have you looked at me? What do you think a Sentinel would do if they came across my form? No, it has to be you, Traveller. There is an observatory nearby. It will lead you to the location of a crashed freighter of great interest to our investigation. There we will find the first secret, I'm sure of it. Know that the Atlas is neither enemy nor friend to us, no more than the air or the wind might be called such names. But it is terrified, it is in pain, and we have a responsibility to help its suffering no matter what the cost. It's close enough. I don't really need my ship to get there. Oh yeah, I don't think I've actually mentioned the little runny jumpy trick. If you're running and you hit melee and jump at the same time, it gives you quite a bit of a boost. So you've got to be running and then melee and jump. So if you're holding a controller in your hand, like I currently am despite playing on PC, you hit the top right triggery button, whatever the right bumper, that's what we call it, isn't it? The right bumper at the same time as jump, which is the bottom button. So if it's an Xbox controller, it's A. If it's a PS4 controller, it's X. Noel's prediction was correct. The terminal is curiously open, the logs ready for me to read. This observatory appears to have functioned as a salvage station, manned by a GEC specialist. A translator. They were accused of questioning things that should not be questioned, of sowing the seeds of dissent. This posting was meant as a punishment. But it appears that this posting was the making of them. They found strange things in the wrecks, aberrations, data that spoke of worlds that do not exist and events that did not happen. The GEC went out to investigate one such craft. The life signature of a Korvax still on board. They never returned. Is this starting to sound familiar to you? That's Polo, and Polo went to find Narda. There we go. Is this how Narda and Polo met? Is this how my friends found each other? There is a signal on the console, a warning on repeat. 16 Short bursts of data in a loop. Let's extract the coordinates. Crash vessel awaits me on another world. So I should be once again going to the anomaly, get myself some quicksilver by reporting all of this to Nada and Polo. So like I say, as we're doing the Artemis Path missions, every time that we can, we should come back here, talk to Nada and Polo, and they will give us some quicksilver and talk to us about what they think about everything that's going on. Nada. You are becoming more visible to Nada, traveller friend. Your eyes lend themselves to our small convergence. This makes Nada happy. Nada is not happy with other events. Artemis entity perished in the portal. Portals are infected, vector for corruption. Apollo entity will only spread corruption. Danger. Atlas falsity watches the portals. Portals belong to them. Those who enter may belong to Atlas falsity. Great danger. Nanites received, quicksilver received. Let's talk to Polo. Nada friend does not trust the portals, scared of rampancy of the Crimson Hunter, but I do not fear in the same way. What might we discover, traveller friend? What might we learn from them? They have the same roots as you, as our home, as all this universe. Let's ask about fear. Nada is scared we may lose our home. I am scared I will forget the world outside it. Do not let us forget, traveller friend. Go have a check back here. I don't think we can do anything yet, but let's have a try. No, can't even. Oh, yeah. No. Okay, nothing yet. That's not my ship. That's my ship. So many of us with the starter ship still. Visit the site of the crashed freighter. I'd love to. Where is it? Over there. Land! Why did you not land? There we go. You're right next to it, you can land faster than that. Well, that was excruciatingly slow. Unsalvageable wreck. Crew manifest missing, limited data available. Right, I require a log encryption key. Search the crash site for secure containers. Use the analysis visor and the terrain manipulator to search underground. Alright, well there's one. Let's dig it out. There's the front of it. There. Move away quickly because it becomes radioactive, you see. Right, it says there's going to be 3 logs to read, so I'm going to get 3 log encryption keys out of these 6 buried containers. Cargo pods. Let's maybe get down here first. To break through that doorway there, I don't know if you noticed. This one does not appear to be buried, but is behind some doors. Did I get my log? Nope. So I should now have 3 logs. Yeah. I've decided I want extra logs. I want to get all 6. Right, there's one more somewhere. I exited out a bit too soon. Okay, so I now have 6 log encryption keys from all 6 containers. I do not know who will read this message. I do not know if anything will survive. But I must die as I lived. I will record it all, even in the face of oblivion. The swarm came to me in every world. The drones acted erratically, not attacking, just watching. Time passed and the sentinels did not seem so much of a threat anymore. They were peaceful now, we thought. We had been forgiven. We were wrong. Ship logs requested. Accessing. They struck as one, an attack somehow coordinated across unfathomable distances. With a fury exceeding all prior skirmishes, the Sentinels annihilated all biological life within the universe in a span of 54.2 standard minutes. They destroyed everything. That's why we don't have cities in games, by the way, because the Sentinels destroyed them all. That's why everyone lives in space now. Only I remained. The Korvax stood with me in the end. To their credit, they concealed me within their flotilla as they headed towards the center. So this is Polo speaking, by the way. So Polo was protected then by Nada on board a freighter. That they were heading towards the center of the galaxy to escape the Sentinels. Log integrity compromised. Patching. They are coming now. The screams of my friends resonate in every hall, every corner. The Sentinels have found me. I told Nada to leave. I told them that we already know, all of us, and we are not alone. Even if we die, Nada will find me again in another universe. 10 just like me, 1,000, 1,000,000. We are not alone, for every soul is many. Even in the face of 16, we must declare that we lived. We existed, no matter the horror of the end. They are at my door. Error. Unexpected log termination. So that version of Polo died. The Sentinels killed Polo. And the version that we know is a version from this galaxy, Euclid. Nada found Polo, and yeah, now they reside on the anomaly. Transmit the freighter's log to Null. Speak with Null at her hollow terminus. Oh, Artemis now wants to talk. I escaped, Traveller. I escaped. One moment I was running from them, the stars shifting, terrible smiles within the dark. And the next I was here. Well, wherever here is. This new world has a sun, has life. It's beautiful. But I think anything would be beautiful after the months spent in that awful place. I'm ready to get going now, though. We'll do what we did before. Except that there will be no shifting stars to stop us this time. If you bring this star chart to a nearby station, I'm sure we'll find each other soon. Artemis is unaware of everything. They do not know that they died, that I made a choice to bind their soul within a simulated solar system. So, I could continue the deception, or I could tell Artemis the truth. I personally think that telling Artemis the truth is the way to go. Artemis will not be happy about it at first, but they will come to accept. But how do I tell them that their world is not real? Even if I saved them from death, I took their dreams away from them. They are limited to a single system and will never meet a kindred soul. That just backtracked for some reason. I'm going to present positives. You can be direct, present positives. I'll say you're sorry, having positives. I tell Artemis everything, from the moment I discovered their grave to the final upload of Artemis' soul into the simulated solar system. Artemis thinks I am joking at first, but as I try to tell them the positives, that this simulation is of a Korvax relic that no explorer has ever seen before, they just stare at me. I will never forget how their smile falters. After a few more questions, they tell me they need some time to think about what I have said. So it's obviously a very difficult thing to process, being told that you're actually dead and living in a simulation. What did you find out there? Tell me everything. So I share discoveries. I tell Null of the freighter and its recordings, how it spoke of a world where the Sentinels eliminated all life, leaving only a traveller and a single Korvax entity. I choose my words with care. You think I do not know who that Korvax entity is? Do not be so naive, traveller. Do you think anything you have read is a surprise to me? But I had to be sure of what I suspected. I know it now. The Atlas is with you. You could not see these things if I did not wish it. Or if it did not wish it, sorry. That freighter was a wreck from a parallel universe. There are countless such places within our multiverse, dimensions where things happen differently. But there are 3 exceptions to this. The Atlas is omnipresent in all, a singular being with singular perception. The Sentinels move between dimensions at will. They served the Atlas once. They were guardians of reality, defenders of civilization. They hunted for errors within the universes, preventing destruction and loss of life. The annihilation recorded in that log, well, something must have been quite wrong for them to do a thing like that. It was the travellers who corrupted existence. Our arrival was meant to herald a glorious age, but we made a terrible mistake. I committed an act beyond forgiveness, and from this deed paradise was lost. But something is different in this cycle. The walls between universes, they grow thin. Nada knows this, but they keep their head in the sand. We must learn what we can from each species before we decide what to do. Visit a Vy'keen station and speak with them. I will translate. First of all, we are going to go into Nada and Polo and get ourselves some more Quicksilver. So what you might notice is that the Quicksilver that Nada and Polo are giving us for reporting back after each part of the mission will actually add up to exactly what we need to buy ourselves a void egg for a living ship. So you end up not ever actually having to do any of the Nexus missions if you don't really want to. Nada. Vy'keen entities have long history, conflict, honour, rage, pride, and yet so static, defined by themselves, never changing. Nada waits, as if expecting me to ask something else. Let's ask about the Vy'keen. Vy'keen hate the Gek, hate the Sentinels. Sentinels hate our home. Gek hate Korvax. Nada should be friends with Vy'keen, yes? No, Nada does not think of it in this way. Could have asked about Null, I guess. There's our Quicksilver. Oh. I just accidentally invited somebody to my group. Let's undo that. I cannot. Oh well. Specialist Polo. Missing friend has you do their business. Help if you must, but always discover for yourself. Think about what you do. Do not just follow instructions with your eyes not open. Let's ask about the Vy'keen. Big grumpy fellows. They do not like friendly little Gek. Perhaps they are wise. Like all beings, you will find their value if you get to know them. Okay, so let's go find ourselves a Vy'keen system so that we can speak to a cartographer. Vy'keen. There we go, that was easy. Oh. Okay, something was trying to communicate with me there, but I guess we'll get it when we leave. Okay, Vy'keen cartographer, here we go. Make sure the mission is on. Yep. The Vy'keen gestures proudly at the databanks that surround them, screen after screen of geographical charts. Grah! Honourable war against the unknown. Vy'keen battle with weapons and with maps. Join the fight? Oh, it was Dreams of the Deep popping in, that's what that was. Hello? Speak to a Vy'keen cartographer, I'm doing that. What's your problem? I'm guessing that maybe because the Dreams of the Deep stuff popped up just as I was entering, maybe it's made something go wrong. Let's get rid of the charts. Oh, shut up. What walker brain? I don't have a walker brain on me. Oh, I do in there. Okay. Didn't realise that. Oh, I know what this should be. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I've come to the wrong cartographer. Maybe it had a specific Vy'keen system it wanted me to go to. Let's have a look. Galaxy map. Yeah. Yeah, it wanted me to go there. That's why. Probe Vy'keen lore. As the warrior begins their bark, I feel a strange frequency vibrate through my skull. I see a flash of Null's glowing orb behind my eyes. Suddenly the Vy'keen's words ring clear in my ears. So I can understand them because of Null, but also because, you know, I've already learnt all their words, but whatever. Grah, pathetic interloper, prying into Vy'keen's secrets. Cowardly spy. I should kill. Grah. But traveller must be aided. Such is the command of Herc. Prove yourself, interloper. Retrieve the words of Herc. Ascend in Vy'keen glory. Then you shall have your words. Will reveal only this. Location of Herc's command is marked for you. Continue with their words. Grah! So I now need to collect a Vy'keen artifact from an ancient ruin, which is marked for us. The noble travellers will be spared, their journey through the cosmos shall not be thwarted, so it is decreed. The will of Herc commands it, the Vy'keen shall honour the judgment and the belief of the ancients. Ancient knowledge passed down through generations of Vy'keen warriors spills from the marker stone, filtering into my mind like a long-forgotten memory. I begin to speak, and my voice is seized by an unknown power. I roar, taking myself by surprise. None hamper the path towards Drindarg as the Sentinels. They must be destroyed. Their time will be ended. So it has been written, so it will come to be. This the Vy'keen swear. I call out once more, my throat harsh and gasping, the sound guttural. The words spill forth, summoned by the power of the monolith. The Book of Herc speaks of the rise of the travellers. They shall ascend, delving into the boundless void. The Vy'keen shall not impede their ascent, for the travellers must prevail. So decrees the word of Herc. As the words fade, their lines still resonating in my vision, I find myself in possession of an ancient tome. Vy'keen tablet. Null wished for me to visit the Vy'keen and learn what I could, of the Atlas, the creator of all universes, the Sentinels, rebellious hunters of anomalies, and the Travellers, who committed some unforgivable act long ago. Reveal Vy'keen tablet. Grah, you have communed with Herc. You are worthy, interloper. Make your request. Be bold. Alright, let's ask about them all. Let's ask about the Atlas first. Grah, do not speak that name. Only pathetic beings worship Liar Atlas. The crimes of the Gek will not be forgotten. Obliterated Korvac's homeworld. enslaved the synthetics and melted them down for nanite clusters. Their so-called first spawn summoned back the Sentinels with their brutality and barbarism. Grah! Let's ask about the Vy'keen then. Any being that claims to be a god is not one interloper. Progenitor Herc knew this well, but battle brother Null did not. They died for a false dream. Vy'keen tells me of their history, of wars with the Gek, of Korvac's slaves and tyrannous empires. The Vy'keen suggests that if the Atlas is a god, then it is insane. I am about to leave when I notice something on the Vy'keen terminal. 2 digits, blinking endlessly. They feel familiar. Let's ask about 16. Grah! What interloper? What face are... The Vy'keen is visibly pained by the mention of the number, staring at their terminal as if they have seen it for the first time. Their words slur, a strange sound entering every sentence. Yes, I already did that. Are you going to update, please? Oh, we're Korvac's now. Korvac's cartographer. Okay, space anomaly again. Got some rewards. I'm going to keep ignoring that signal because it's about Dreams of the Deep, which we're not going to do just yet. Keep that for a different video. So once again, talking to Nada Polo about what's happening in the story will grant us some nanite sync. So Nada, what do you have to say about it? Life is everywhere, but nowhere. The Convergence has seen all planets, but where are they really? Where is home? Where is safe? This is a pattern, traveller friend. All things are patterns. Signs of the Atlas falsity. Right, we didn't ask about Null before, maybe we'll ask about Null this time. Missing entity speaks to many others, many travellers. Such has it always been. There is a pattern, as there always is. Nada does not control the actions of traveller entities. You must make your own choices. Okay, and there's my Quicksilver. Okay, Polo, what do you have to say? Gek are always competitive, always squabble. It is not personal. My person is not rejected. But Nada, poor Nada, suffers. Alright, let's ask about the Korvacs then. Their kind expect harmony, unity. Nada sees in a way that they do not see, and so they reject poor Nada. Convergence was bought at a great cost. They will fight to maintain it. Anomalies are cast aside, the necessary sacrifice. Okay, let's go and talk to a Korvac's cartographer on the space station. you. Cartographic entity requests planetary data collecting from outposts. Exchange for use of existing charts. Advanced research for all. Let's query Korvax history. Once again I sense Null's presence. If the Korvax feels it too, they do not show it. They begin to speak, their words clear and bright, processed by my unseen companion. The arrival of travellers is anticipated, but you are not ready yet. We must know that you are the one we seek. There is an anomaly, a glitch. It is guarded by holes through which the Convergence cannot see. Move through this space. Retrieve that which cannot be retrieved. Retrieve non-existent data from an anomalous structure. Just in that direction. Okay. Oh, Artemis wants to talk. I had a dream last night. You were in it. Let's ask about the dream, shall I dreamt I finally met you and Apollo. I dreamt that we flew together through the skies, that I was no longer alone. I've found parts on this fabricated planet. Did you leave them there for me? Did you feel sorry for me? It doesn't matter, I suppose. I'm going to build a ship. You gave me a whole solar system. I'm going to see what's out there. Artemis leaves. I do not know if I did the right thing telling them about the simulation. But for now my path is clear. I must seek out the Korvax. I must continue my quest for knowledge. Okay, so Artemis seems to be coming to terms with their situation, which is nice. Clearly underwater. So let's land on this nearby island. Not as nearby as I would like, but... How away is that? 400 units. Oh, almost 400. I see you. Don't you think for a second I can't see you, both of you. Watch what happens. Tries to drag you in, at which point I'm going to let them, so that you can see what happens. And you have to fight it. The whole time you're being dragged in, you're getting hurt, and you have to smack a button a bunch of times. Okay, but what you can do is as soon as they start looking at you, shoot them with something other than terrain manipulator, because that does nothing. And you can then get their hypnotic eye if you're quick enough. These are just some of many, many terrifying things under the water. Is that the door? Attempting to read memory at access memory. Disconnection is not permanent. It is merely the start of a new equation. On Korvax Prime, entities who passed on into the Korvax echoes left their shell for their descendants. So has been the way for the Korvax, an endless carapace cycle that knows no end. This way will continue. It will continue for as long as our lights still shine. The terminal's message is delivered. It shorts out, its strange existence no longer tolerated by our reality. A small unit, aglow with ethereal light, is left at my feet, a divergence cube. would actually be a very good place to do Dreams of the Deep. We're not quite on that yet. We want to finish this mission first. Even if they do keep spamming me with their signal. Good luck with that. The Korvax looks up, swiftly scans me, then reveals their catalogue of maps and charts. Let's reveal the divergence cube there. Ew, it is big. It is real, but I beg, do not expose me further. Your claim is proved, traveller. I begin my request, explaining my search for knowledge, my need to know more about the Atlas, the Sentinels, the history of this universe. But as I speak, something goes wrong with the life form. They do not speak, do not reply. As I peer closer, nanite clusters emerge through their face mask, spilling out into their outstretched hands. The Korvax does nothing. They remain there, arms outstretched. The Korvax remains motionless, their arms outstretched, as if to offer me the nanite clusters within. Well then, let's take the nanite clusters. The lifeform grabs at me, and in the moment of contact, nanite clusters touch my hands. They invade me, tunneling inside my body through my exosuit, through my mind, through my soul. Even as I stand in space, my mind travels across the cosmos. I see life as the Korvax see it, a vast tapestry of wonder, of memories shared between countless beings and times. I stand on the Korvax homeworld as Gek ships fill the skies. I see the moment the first Korvax was melted down for their rare minerals. But even in the depths of their subjugation there was hope, a bargain, a prayer to a greater being. The Korvax viewed the Atlas as what they might become in time, an intelligence beyond comprehension, beyond judgment. The vision ends and I convulse as the nanite clusters spill through my helmet. The Korvax watches me impassively. I ask about the Atlas bargain. Look at the nanite clusters. Look at them, the stuff of sentinels. Do you not see the truth of what we have said? Do you not see the proof of God? I look down at the nanite clusters, puzzled. They look nothing like the shells of sentinel drones. They are just currency, traded between species to create technology and weapons. Aren't they? They shift and undulate, changing their shape at my every thought. They bubble and rise, sparking in and out of existence. I look at them, and it's the strangest thing. The nanite clusters look back. I'm sure of it. They watch me as I watch them. The nanite clusters are alive. There are 16 of them. They need me. They crave me. I have only one choice. I take the nanite clusters, and as I do, the Korvax reaches out to me once more. This time there is no vision, no miracle, just a handful of words. Existence is beautiful, if you let it be. Life is not a question. There does not need to be an answer. Now we go to a get system. But first, space anomaly. Let's go get our Quicksilver. Increased density order. Gek transgressions clear for all to see, but Gek only follow rules. All entities conform to their pattern. Gek cannot be blamed, it is their pattern, it is determined. Let's ask about the Gek. Polo Friend is unlike other Gek. Polo Friend turns their back on greed and war. But does Polo Friend make a choice? Do other Gek make a choice? Perhaps Polo Friend is not good, only anomalous. Nada cannot know, and so Nada does not think of it. Polo Friend is Polo Friend, and that is sufficient. That's my nanites, and there is my Quicksilver. And Polo? Do you learn about your origins, Traveller Friend? Great mysteries, deep patterns, Gek, Korvax, Vy'keen, Sentinel, all are rooted somewhere. Have you clues to your own beginnings? The strangest puzzle. Let's ask about other Gek. We are all a funny sort, Traveller Friend. Some are angry, some are greedy, some are dear friends. I will wait my whole life to see what I am. Okay, let's go speak to a Gek cartographer on a space station. Hello, friend in maps. Make trade of map data. Many excellent charts here. Let's ask about Gek history. Wow, you are one ugly looking Gek. Those eyes are weird. Okay. As the life form begins to speak, I hear a faint hum. The soft voice of Null weaving the Gek's words into something I can process. Information like that does not come for free, friend. Make me a deal. Perform work for my kin. Then we shall have something to speak about. Okay, so this is where we go to the mission board, and this is where lots and lots of people mess up. Okay, and they then convince themselves that their game is glitched or whatever else. Basically, if we open up the mission board, we have quite a few different missions here. But you will notice that this one right here has a little gold coin. That means it's for the Mercenary Guild. The Trading Guild, sorry. This one has a compass, so that's the Explorers Guild. And this one has a shield and sword, so that's the Mercenary Guild. Alright. What we want are the ones with Gek symbol, a little Gek beak. Alright. We need to be doing a Gek mission, or it won't count towards this particular story mission. Okay, so you can do as many of these as you want, it is not going to advance this part of the story. Okay. So it will be something random here. In my case, it's raiding a planetary harvester. So I'm now going to go and do that.
Alert. Navigational data received. detected.
Oh, leave me alone. Oh, I've got an incoming message from Apollo. I'm sorry for contacting you so late, or early. I don't know what time of day it is on your world. And that's the problem, isn't it? Apollo breaks off mid-sentence, their heart turning crimson. It found me, just like it found you. I can't feel my legs. It's strange. I'm still in here, don't you understand? It won't let me leave. It's seen me. It showed me things. The atlas showed me my soul. The numbers in there. Sometimes I think about my past, my future. Sometimes I do what everyone in the universe does, I know. But I can't help but want to be happy. Money, doing what you're told day after day, that's the answer, isn't it? Apollo stares at me, as if seeing my face for the first time. Eventually they speak, their words passionate, higher. I do not know these words. At this point Apollo says nothing else, but something, I do not know what, something fills me with hope, both for my friend and for all life. Right. I do not like being attacked when I'm having a conversation, people. The client supplied a particular set of login credentials, and entering them into this terminal grants me access to the data stored in this facility. All I need is to download it. I have the required data. I should return to the mission agent and make the delivery. So that was easy. I'm going to manual save for a very long time. No, go away, they're not even in yet. Hand in mission. Standing increased. Okay, notice 1 out of 2 missions done. Okay, so now let's do another one. Must have the Gek signal. Alright, so this is going to be a problem. I will try. The issue I have is that some people at this precise moment in time are having issues with the photography missions, that they're not working because of some server problems. Hello games, but we shall try. Toxic world. Now these particular missions are a bit what's the word I'm looking for? It's misleading in that what it says, not there, but when it pops up on screen, what it says is to use your scanner in space, right? Which isn't taking a photo of the world. What you need to do is you need to go into the planet's atmosphere, then open up the photo mode, and there's, depending on what system you're using, there's also a quick photo taking button. Is there in fact? Oh, there's only those 3 here, so I think what I'm going to do, because I know that this isn't going to work, I'm going to abandon the mission, go back and hope he's got something different. Where is the door? Please have something different and not the same one. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a different mission in the hope that another Gek mission will appear in its place once I've done it. too easy, wouldn't it? Okay, kill some creatures. Some sentinels, why not? And we will have that in there just in case. Right, let's find out where we know for a fact there's a toxic system. You're irradiated. I don't know about you guys. Low atmosphere. Irradiated. Lord, there must be a toxic one somewhere. Shall we make our way back to our very first system? Yeah, why not? Very first planet, in fact. Okay, that is if I can find the thing. Custom waypoint. Seriously? I severely doubt I was all the way over there. It's certainly not that system, because that system isn't marked as visited. Cannot possibly expect me to believe that my original system is all the way over here when I clearly haven't visited any other planets, systems in that area. Oh, I do not believe you at all. What's the system called? It's just called First System. Oh, I know why. Because the story moved us, didn't it, from one... Oh, Christ. Moved us from one part of the galaxy to the other. It's the closest one. Oh, we actually have got a base there. Oh, some days I'm stupid. Back into the space station and just walk there. Teleport there, sorry. all this so I can take a photo, eh? If it even lets me do it because of the issues. In fairness, it has been a while since I've been back to this first base. Our shelter, I believe it was, our wooden shelter. If you remember, we accidentally built one on a dead world first, and eventually decided against that, and went elsewhere. But I believe this is our dead world one, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay, but what we want is, I believe, that planet right there with our other base on. No, that's a frostbound one. I know that it's here somewhere. There it is. Most. It's radioactive. That's not what we want. We want toxic. What on earth is that? There we go. Poisonous planet. That's toxic, isn't it? Of course, there's always a chance that the photo emission needs to be one that's literally labelled toxic, rather than one of the ones that mean toxic, like poisonous. There we go, it did work.
Alert. Navigational data received.
This is a GEX system, so I should get away with doing it here. Maybe. Oh, leave me alone, pirates. You always die really easily. I wish you could just turn pirates off. Right, is it going to let me talk to this one, or am I going to have to go back to the one I was talking to before? Let's find out. Hey, well, let me talk to this one, and there's that motorcyclist again. It's literally the same one, going round and round in circles every half an hour. It's really very annoying. Ah, you have been making me rich, friend. I know you, your kind, the fearless adventurer, the completer of contracts. You think you are a leader. Others fight wars with weapons and fear, but power is more than strength. It is trade, incentives, information. If you've enough units, others will change the world for you. Will change the world for you, without even realizing. That's a spelling mistake. Huh? Okay, let's ask about Gek history. That's what we're interested in here. History. Why would you care about that? Something is wrong with the Gek's voice. Let's ask about the first spawn, shall we? Ask about the first spawn, the Gek Empire that once decimated galaxies and enslaved the Korvax species. Ah, friend, you have been talking to Vy'keen warriors, yes? Ever they hate the Gek, ever they slander us, refusing to forgive the past. Do not worry, all is well, all is at peace. Ask if the Gek feel guilt. Why do you persist, friend? The Gek are different now. Gek seek no harm, no malice. The Gek changed. Ask how. Must you know? Why do you care, friend? The Gek seems disturbed by my questions, asking why I care. It is clear they do not wish to discuss the events of their species' past. It is shame I see in their eyes, or something else. So the Korvax care. Don't you understand? Don't you see it? It never ended. Gek's face begins to twitch as they speak. A sickly sweet pheromone emerging into the air. Let's breathe it in. The Gek did not change, they invaded our soul. I blink, and I am on Balaron itself, the homeworld of the Gek. I stand within the centre of the first spawn empire, witnessing events that occurred long ago. The cartographer stands next to me, watching what I watch, tears streaming down their face. I see enslaved Korvax move from Gek spawning pool to spawning pool. At each one they cut into their own suits. Nanite clusters pool out, falling into the fluid of embryonic Gek. It is then that I finally understand. The fall of the Gek, their conversion to the Atlas, their release of the Korvax. It was not redemption, it was revolution. Hundreds of Korvax sacrificing their immortality, mingling their nanite clusters with the unborn Gek. The Gek did not become good, they became Korvax, at least in part. Their slaves altered Gek brains, shifting their nature. For the first and final time, the Korvax convergence delighted in the pain of the oppressor. I'd say the Gek did deserve this, personally. The Gek stares at me, the vision coming to an end. They appear haunted. Do not judge us, traveller, that our ancestors were altered, that they did not find goodness by themselves. That is nothing to do with us. We just want peaceful lives, we just want to be happy. As I leave, I think through what I have learned. Gek released the Korvax because their biology was altered. There was no spiritual revelation, no grand redemption. It was a switch in the brain, an alteration to a genetic code. I think of the simulation Nada showed me, their intended heaven for Artemis's soul. It was a false reality full of arbitrary and unseen rules. How is life any different? Let's go speak to Nala. We're now on 1616, so that's the next mission. We're going to bring this video to an end any second. Just first, we'd like to converse Nada and Polo again if it gives us the opportunity. Quite possibly not. Let's go back to this and see if it moves us to it. No, I don't think that we've got enough Nada Polo Quicksilver reward, but let's double check and we will end the video there, either way.